Well, another lovely day in Ottawa. Randy Hillier with Shawn, McCrae, my Mackenzie friend. This is the third full day of motions from the Crown in the Great Assault case, among other things. I've got a couple things to say about this publication ban and how the evidence is not permitted to be seen by the public. But let's turn over to Shawn here first. Shawn is a literary expert. Let's share some literary.
But as a teenager, even I enjoyed reading good books, classics, and Les Misérables was one. There were two excellent characters described in that work of fiction. There was, of course, Jean Valjean, the protagonist, and the policeman that chased him all of his life. No first name, simply Inspector Javert. And the inspector had no latitude in his mind for any minor infraction, from stealing a loaf of bread all the way up to murder. It didn't matter to him. You're going to jail, and you're going to get a ball and chain attached to your foot and imprisoned. In his mind, forever's okay. So that's the kind of dogged determination to pursue these superficial charges against Randy Hillier, and that's the storyline that popped into my mind as I watched things unfold in the courtroom over the past few days.
And yes, was it life in prison for stealing the loaf of bread by Jean Valjean?
Well, it was started with the bread, I believe, and then maybe he tried to escape, and that was a bigger crime, and then it was. I think he disguised himself and became a mayor of a small town, but was eventually hunted down. I don't remember the whole story, to tell you the truth.
It's been a while, but yes, it was a dogged, persistent hunt for the most minor of things, and there are some similarities with that pre-revolutionary French time and today.
In our modern day, we can't help but compare the daily news, a host of shootings across the city of Toronto, and we see the revolving door of serious criminals in and out of the justice system, such as we call it. But the amount of money and time, yours, mine, the court, the lawyers, the policemen, everything, it could have all been settled,
and of course,
settled with a high handshake.
Yeah, and we met Robert Donnell here today as well. He's back in court, and there's so many other, and Guy Meister, and so many names.
Yes.
There is not just one Jean Valjean
No.
in Canada today. But I also wanted to say a little something as well, just to, all through the Freedom Convoy, and all through that era, the judge, the Prime Minister, the Premier, the media were permitted and said such outrageous falsehoods and exaggerations about what was happening in Ottawa. And now we're in court. There is a publication ban. We've just spent 3 days this week in court. We're not allowed to share with you what happened there. There was evidence. There was testimony provided this week. Powerful and interesting, the testimony and evidence this week. But we can't tell you about that. And of course, the the storyline is that to protect the integrity of the system, to protect the accused, this information is not allowed to be shared, right? And isn't that interesting? All the lies and all the falsehoods and all the exaggerations, of the small fringe minority, of the unclean and the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis, all that has poisoned the mindset of so many people in Ottawa and elsewhere.
True.
But the actual factual evidence and testimony that we're talking about in the Ottawa courts would jeopardize a jury trial. Interesting. Who are they actually protecting? You know what? I'm nervous when the government wants to protect me. It just never seems to turn out very well for me. Anyway, the battle continues. We've got another JPT now scheduled for the 18th of September. Undoubtedly, there will be more and more as we
proceed toward the final, the jury selection process, I suppose, is down the line.
Yep. Anyway, next year. Thank you, Shawn, for being here.
My pleasure, Randy.
Thanks for watching. We'll try to continue to update you in the most factual and honest way without offending the cone of silence that has been placed over the courts in Ottawa.
What's that?
The cone of silence. And Maxwell Smart may be in the Ottawa courthouse a few more times under this cone of silence. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching. Share around, and until next time.
Have a good day.
Bye.